So, my friend, as you can sorry.
We are at the cinema.
Yes, my friends.
And we have just watched a movie.
Yes, you see, we have snacks from the cinema. And we totally have just seen a film.
In the cinema?
Maybe.
Ah!
Possibly, I don't know. Although theoretically we could have watched it on DVD and then driven across town just to get some snacks in the cinema just to be silly in the video.
We could have done that.
Although you don't know where either of us live. And you don't know where the cinema is. Although it's the Brunswick Movie Bowl, so you can find that. But you can't find the rest.
Brunswick Movie Bowl.
So you don't know how far we had to drive.
No, you don't.
You complete me.
Thanks. Anyway, we saw Nerdquest.
We did. And I have to say, it was very, very nice of Filmbrain to play a special needs person. You know, it was a brave acting choice, I have to say. And the fact that his character was friends with three people who were obviously much cooler than him, because one of his friends was an award-winning porn director, and the other two were friends with Charlie Brooker.
I know.
It's like, you know, nice of those three. You know, they might have acted like complete twats, but it was nice of them to hang out with the special needs guy played by Filmbrain.
Brian Flynn.
Brian Flynn, yes.
It's Brian Flynn. So, some people who act very stereotypically chavvy.
Spoilers!
Oh yeah, you got a webcomic made about your
Yes,
spoilers.
I did. I got a webcomic because which is ironic because we always say spoilers first.
Yeah, we say spoilers like 100 times a velo.
I would like the person to contact me so I can find out what video I didn't do that and apologize.
But
yeah, we saw a movie and it was you know, I have the DVD over here. Check it out! Wait, that's not the right movie. Check it out! Wait, no, sorry.
this is from a different shop. This isn't even from the cinema.
It's not even a DVD. We saw it! Spoilers.
Spoilers. So some stereotypical laddie chavvy guys and Filmbrain who can't drink without choking go to the woods to take part in Nerdquest, an amazing LARP adventure. And then they find out it's shit. Which is kind of weird because...
Because, you know, this Nerdquest, you know, they might be portraying it as pretty shit, but you get to hang around with a bunch of B-list internet celebrities. So, you know, I can think of worse things to do. In a bit, it's a bit like... It reminds me a little bit of a cold and rainy version of MagFest without any drinking or crazy orgies.
They were drinking, though.
Oh, yeah, not as much drinking as MagFest, though.
There was a lot more dying.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think anyone's been killed at MagFest yet.
Yet.
Yes.
But... So, all these internet celebrities are in the woods having a LARP party, and then the three chavvy guys are like, oh, this is shit, ha ha ha, ha ha, shit.
Haha, we're all portraying people who are really thrilled to have a free house in someone's house because their mother's gone away, as though we were 16 to 18 years old, even though clearly we were all 45.
Ha.
Aha!
Also, Filmbrain's mother looks about his age and a lot hotter than I expected.
No, his mum looked like, as the Americans say, a cougar, which is ironic considering there was a character called Cougar. But yeah, she looks like she had him quite young. Although, you know, given that the character Filmbrain's playing is special needs, quite clearly, there could have been, like, you know, some sort of weird incest going on. Maybe his mother was actually his sister. Maybe that's why the guy killed the guy's dad.
This is why I like watching movies with you.
Well, because you know that, you know, Filmbrain won't take it personally.
Oh, he will. He takes everything personally.
No, he doesn't. Filmbrain's a great guy.
I'm drinking with piss.
Oh, very subtle.
So, she said this during the movie, and I agreed at the time. Everybody starts dying, and it's like, oh, they're being trolled for being noisy, and...
Yeah, that's what I figured, yeah.
I thought the same thing. It's like, everybody starts dying, I'm like, oh, they're just trolling the four noisy bastards who tried to ruin everything. But no, people are actually dying.
It would have been very clever if they were getting trolled, because that means they would have an excuse for all the obviously fake body parts they've got.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have had to deal with the final twist that the guy who is nowhere near old enough to be friends with Filmbrain's dad just randomly was the killer.
Spoilers!
We don't know who. They don't know who we're talking about.
Brian Blessed the Younger.
He was an entertaining guy.
He was.
Yeah, he's like, this is the only. He's the only person. Well, he's one of only two people in this film that I don't really have any idea who he's to do with in internet terms. But he really impressed me.
Very good actor. He seemed to get into the part.
Well, I got to take exception to the way that they ended the film. It seems thematically it was building up to Filmbrain's, special needs person winning and, killing the bad guy. But in the end, no, it's just like, build up thematic stuff, main character, hero's journey and all that. Fuck that. Stab him, dead. Here, Guru Lara, you can kill him.
I did like the last line. Fool me once, shame on you. Man, fuck cliches.
And Ashens is punching the guy in the face. Should have been about twice as long. There's this lovely comedy fan film about Christian Bale, Batman, and Bane meeting the 1960s Robin, which just ends with Bane beating the shit out of Robin, just like for about a minute, punching him in the face. And they should have gone for something like that, just like completely overly long, just showing the character's absolute frustration. And they sort of got it, because he got about 15 punches in there, but they really needed to go for, at least 30 to get it across properly.
But story-wise, the film... I'm sorry, Mike, I love you, but story-wise, the film doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, there are two murderers in kind of scream suits. I don't know, it looks like the gold hem set from Dark Souls, whatever. There are two murderers, and they kill one. He's been killing people with a sword. And don't take their sword, but instead equip themselves with lanterns. Not the hundreds of glass bottles of beer that they drank last night. Lanterns.
It was why the horror movie I wrote featured characters with beer bottles who used them as projectile weapons.
You've got half a bomb there.
Well, they didn't have fire, they were literally, guys were running at them, so they were throwing them, trying to smack them in the
You can
face.
kill a guy with a beer bottle.
Yeah. This is what happens when you grow up in Northern Ireland. You think practically about such things, because, every time you enter a forest in Northern Ireland, you could get stabbed with a sword, usually because they took offense to you wearing green or orange on the wrong day. Northern Ireland's weird like that.
Or red if they're colourblind.
Yes. And if you're wearing red, actually, you could also be killed by the other side, too, because red is the British colour, but if someone's colourblind and a loyalist, they could see it as green, and therefore you wear red in Northern Ireland, you might die from both sides.
You see, there's two sides. One side have the colours orange, white, yellow, and green, and certain shades of blue.
A couple of shades of purple, too.
Ah, yes, some shades of purple. The other side has red, white, the rest of the shades of blue.
And purple.
Some different shades of purple, and certain tones of gold.
And black.
Oh, and black, yes. And orange.
This is why you wear any colour.
But it's a different orange from the orange that the other side has.
The only colour you can actually safely wear in Northern Ireland is white. Because both flags have it.
Yes.
And they assume you're like this Japanese funerary character who's going to kick ass so they'll keep away from you.
No Kill Bill references.
I was making a Lady Snowblood reference! Yeah! For a movie starring Dick the Man Bush, award-winning porn director, we saw very few penises in this film. In fact...
We saw zero.
Yeah, there might have been none. Mike, you're a porn director. You couldn't have convinced him to bring at least one porn star. I say penises rather than tits because, let's be fair, male porn stars are generally cheaper than female. You could have brought them in. You could have had, naked pagan, dancing guys running around. It wouldn't have made the film any better, but it would have had naked people.
True. This is always improvement. Also, there's a weird thing at the end. The after-credits sequence just made no damn sense. I mean, thematically, is that woman watching the film, or did she just see the video that was magically uploaded by somebody who found the camera later?
I think Ashens uploaded, just Dick Bush's death because, frankly, he didn't like him very much. And then apparently it was watched by me. What the fuck? You have everyone on Tigwatig who wasn't there at the shoot to, represent the rest of the world, who watched Nerdquest and who may well have just watched the entire film before reacting to it, and you choose me? Thank you, on an arrogant level I'm saying thank you, but just remember, You just made your film 300% less attractive right there.
Maybe they just think that you best represent the target demographic.
Well, I have LARPed before.
That's right.
See? That's why we know what we're talking about here.
Now, speaking of which, the LARP in this made no goddamn sense. I saw somebody...
Did you have a rulebook drawn up, Mike? Did you actually draw up a full rulebook before that, to construct your film around? Because...
I mean, that ice ray spell was completely broken. I mean, 30 seconds is a long time in actual physical LARP. If you're playing something like Masquerade, like Sheep played, that's fine. 30 seconds is okay. But
it's a political game.
Yeah. I've played fucking actual LARP with buffers. That 30 seconds is a very long time in an actual battle where somebody can come up and touch you with the sword.
Yeah, I've never done the fantasy battle type LARPing, but I've played Vampire the Masquerade and and Werewolf the Apocalypse and Sabbat. And what you gotta do is in order to do anything, you gotta go like, do. You gotta actually do that. That's instead of using a dice, you do that. And I don't know what it's like in the other ones, but you don't just say, ha, and I assume this worked.
We had moderators, we were strictly no magic in our fights. But like, say I sliced your leg with my stick, the moderator would be like, you can't use that leg anymore.
How do you assume it worked?
No, moderator has dice.
Okay, so they dice. Okay, so there is some sort of random element. Okay.
Yes.
Because in this one it's just like, haha, I assume everything I do works, so I assume I use my magical powers that until now I've not had to create a submachine gun, and then I assume it works to aim this at everyone and shoot all of them. Ha, I win the victory, let's go and get drunk. Then I assume I seduce every single motherfucker in the forest.
What about those who haven't had sex with a mother?
We don't want to seduce them.
Your dad's a motherfucker.
See? It exists.
Everybody at home, your dad's a motherfucker.
It's a very nice cover. Good work, Mike. This is a good cover. This is better than like...
But it doesn't work in PlayStations!
Yeah, we had a problem on the PlayStation 3. Works on the PC though.
Yeah, we're fine PC.
The cover, yeah, it's better than at least one or two of the Tigwatig movie covers.
It's better than some of the B movies you buy.
Oh yeah, this is better than a fuckload of the B movies I've seen. We were been ripping on the film, but I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. It was brilliant.
I had a great time, but we're just, as we say in this, part of the world, we are taking the piss / ripping the piss.
We're not pissing on you, as Omega says.
Yeah, that's Omega's version. It's. I think out of all of the based on internet people, making movies type thing that I've seen. So the biggest problem with this one is the lack of budget and the lack of time. There was parts there when the scenes didn't construct very well because then the characters seemed to be filmed in different days, which they probably were because you had no time, you had almost no budget. So every single problem I had with this, except for a couple of script issues, and I got the feeling they cut about 20 minutes out, possibly because they had to, it's to do with that. And, one thing that reviewing the shit I review has taught me is to be kind to films based on having no budget. Because
the movie felt very competently made, apart from the budget issues.
And so, ironically, like the directing part, the parts would have to deal with people having conversations or little movements where people were interacting. Those bits didn't come out quite so well. However, the bits when he was trying to do horror sections, like the guy in the dark sort of wandering around and then following them, like being all like, oh no, what's going on? Those were actually done very, very well. But the little parts, it's like Mike. This is going to sound really horrible, but it's as though you can't crawl, but you can run a marathon. Directorially, you are a freak. I don't know how you managed this. The bits were just little interactions and conversations weren't handled well, but the actual important sort of thematic build-up tension bits worked very well, so well done. You did it in reverse.
Also, Mike, I would like to congratulate you, and anybody else involved in Nerdquest, for the found footage sections. There was a fucking reason for them, and they fitted into the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that's much more than I could say for most found footage movies, and we've seen, at least two of them.
Too many found footage movies. But...
and another good thing about the found footage sections, they did not have the words paranormal activity in the title.
It's true. And while it was a movie about 4 annoying guys, this time I actually emphasized with them.
Who were the 4 annoying ones?
All of them.
Oh.
Welshy, MikeJ, the guy with the beard, and that one guy in the background who disappeared pretty early on but was never actually said to be dead.
Who?
You know, kind of background guy. He was involved in the argument that started the fight.
That was Filmbrain's mum.
Oh yeah. Now they're the four annoying guys.
Oh, question. That's not the answer I expected. There's the two of them who are dressed up as screen creature people. One of them was Jill Barrett from She Apocalypse, and she got knocked unconscious, which is fine. Then later on, it's the other character who, in a twist reveal, is the person.
Brian Blessed the Younger.
However, at one point, after she's been taken out of the action, and before he comes in with his big cape thing, we find the guy's body as though he's dead. And, like, you know...
In the car.
In the car with, you know, head crashed against the windshield and all, and it's like... was there a third one out there, or did he rush there, pretend to be dead, and then get up immediately the second their eyes weren't on them? And Mike, could you please send me a message on Skype if you see this and tell me why the fuck they decided to camp out that second night, why they didn't just, I don't know, use the car, which was fully powered up and you still having car lights and everything. Even if they couldn't drive it because none of them could hotwire it, they could have locked themselves in the car after moving the bodies. That way, A, because the car's still working, they could have been warmer because the car, its heat thing would have been going. They'd be together in an enclosed space. You got 4 people in a car, it will heat up.
Trust me, it's quite warm in here with just the two of us.
Plus, lock the fucking doors, you get more defense than you get from a fucking tent. Plus, you could look out and see.
Yeah.
It's just little logical problems of what the characters are
Like
doing.
why after they knocked out the girl, they left her sword? But as your question as to who the dead guy in the car was, they did have a throwaway line there about how, is it, oh fuck, what was his name? Is it such and such? I can't tell, his face is pretty slashed up.
Well, it was clearly him from his hair.
Wig?
Yes, it's someone else in a very bad wig. Someone else, they just grabbed a body, put him in his clothing, and put him there just in the off chance that they come across him.
I think they were chasing them towards the car.
It's just... It seems an extra body, and it seems very unlikely with one guy doing that just to scare them.
It does seem unlikely. But then I've seen Scream. Everything in that film is very unlikely.
You know, I was thinking partway through that Jill Barrett had used her necromancy just to raise some sort of crazy spirit.
Yeah, that would have been quite interesting.
It's weird that the less likely suggestions we're making for twists possibly would have worked better logically.
Thematically, at least. Oh, by the way, some folks in my work said The Conjuring's the best film they've ever seen. I told them they're idiots.
Good.
The Conjuring's still shit.
You know what this film's better than?
The Conjuring?
Yes. You know what else? The Purge. You know what else? Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. And You're Next. And Devil's
I like
Due.
You're Next a wee bit.
And that one with the fucking Dybbuk box.
And Elysium.
Uh-huh. And the Last Exorcist. What's the last? The one with the evil devil inside. The one with the hand coming out of the mouth. It was a found footage horror movie. Maybe I watched that without you.
I don't know, I can't remember half the films we watch.
MikeJ, this is definitely in the top half, possibly top quarter of movies that we've vlogged from this car.
Yeah, it really is. And the leather car. I think there's been 4 different vlog cars at this point.
So, all of you, watch it. Buy Nerdquest.
Yeah, support the industry.
So it's not industry, support the independent.
Yeah, support this so we can have more movies by the same people. It's a really enjoyable movie, and I would really like to see what they can do with the budget.
You see, I spent the money and bought a copy, you know, even though
You're in it.
I was the only person who's on Tigwatig who's from the United Kingdom, who did not get to go and be cold in a fucking wood. Cold and wet for fucking ages. I don't know if I should be insulted or laugh at them.
I don't know, my family used to call that a holiday.
Apparently, it was very unpleasant shit.
Yeah.
It's like Suburban Nights, but worse.
No, but seriously, go buy Nerdquest. Go. Pause the video. Turn it off or whatever. We've got your blip money. Go.
Restart it. Watch the ad again.
Yeah, watch the ad a few times. Bye.
Well, that was shit.